Greetings, Jedi traders. David here of TradingFibs.com to bring you the daily trend for week 45, day 3. It is November 9th, 2016. As always, please seek financial advice when trading with your money, as these videos are for educational purposes only to survive and support your knowledge in the market. See what's going through my head on any given day. Always make sure you have a solid trading plan and always manage your stop when placing a trade. All right. Months of uncertainty finally in the books as we head into the rest of the year. Only thing at this point might be the uncertainty of rate hikes, but sure enough, the next couple months as our new president-elect Donald Trump will be taking office, and that is the big news as markets last night, violent whip and price action took us all the way down for limit down orders and then rally back up to the highs. As I had tweeted out last night, higher time frames were the best price action to play off of today, and that's exactly the way price action moved throughout. Taking a look around, we had EIA report on the crude report, kind of just in the midst of all the price action today, kind of took a back seat there with a buildup in supply and leaving some open gaps. Now still down below, but closing out some serious open gaps. And that's right, DJIA, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, hitting an all-time high today as price action got a lift back up. All right, let's jump into some of the charts. Take a look at some of the highlights. There was the ES on the overnight session there, tweeted out last night. Price action to the downside. Again, going to the higher time frame. Usually watching the ES on a 5-4 flex Renko. This here is a range chart underneath the cloud, underneath the T350 on a 20-tick range chart, headed downside. Again, some of this the bar here, you're not going to see just reflective of the data on the higher time frame, but again, just paying attention to chart number 1 up here. Really nice price action to the downside, holding you in the trend for the most part as the limit down finally kicked in, and bang, Trump wins the presidency, and we're back upside. Solid hike in Ashi bars in trend on that higher time frame. That's all you need to do to stay in the trend. Don't get afraid of a lot of the whip action. All you got to do is increase the time frame, and the strategy works just as well. All right, so taking a look at some of the other key charts across the board. There it is, big picture across the day. Trump wins the presidency. We can see the big picture downside. There was that overnight Globex session, and then back upside, as you saw just right there in those first two charts, and the remainder of the session to the ES, not only coming up to the high of yesterday, but actually finishing up a little bit higher. Nice move on the ES S&P 500. All right, let's start with the NQ. Again, most of the major indices, again, it's very similar price action this morning. Price action on the NQ started out already in trend, so you wait for the next setup. You could have taken the counter trend here under the T310. You had a pullback. Nice move. That's exactly what you would be waiting for. You don't want to jump right in the middle of the trend. You had some nice distance down. And look at the support right off the 51.44. How we look at that every day. Price action breaks back upside. There's your entry. You could wait for another pullback, but again, majority of charts here with the core set up to the upside, you jump right in. And price action with a counter trend, and then eventually back towards the European close, price action gets a lift. And here on the pink arrows, we see price action, pink purple there, offering you an opportunity to re-enter as well. And using that AD line that we just saw, price action, let's go back to that chart. That's right. How do you know which is the high of the high? Well, you're watching your AD line as price action hits level after level. Again, took a little bit of stall here at the 0. Price action broke upside, give you another opportunity. Finally, the pivot held, a couple bars down. You enter through the wait through the cloud here and get yourself an opportunity to the short or back to the upside, depending on the AD line. But highlighting the fact the AD line found resistance there. Price action turn and to the downside. Nice, useful market internal tool to watch on any given day. ES, there it was, AM session on a higher time frame. Price action again, nice clean entry to the upside. There it was above the T350. Again, small pockets of opportunity here to the upside in that AM session. And take a look at the YM. Also similar setup, market action after a small pullback. Again, every simple strategy here is to keep it simple by keeping key moving averages on the chart that you're following. T350 I use the T310 to give you the short-term trend like any trend line, and 5144 to give you the bigger picture. All entries above. No, this is not an Ichimoku cloud. It is simply an overlay of a 50 EMA and a 144 EMA with a moving average sitting above it off a 1-minute chart. That's it. Finally, afternoon session here on the NQ as price action got a little bit choppy. Again, most of the mid-session pretty much sitting out. AD line, a lot of resistance here, and finally price action broke to the downside, offering a couple of PM opportunities, whether you scalped entry that on the setups or you tried to get a runner. That was up to each individual trader. Here we are, NQ once again to the downside here. Price action, what do you notice? That's right, there it is, right to the AD line as price action, like we saw to the upside, and find some resistance. Here's a nice entry underneath the 144. You ride it down, price action crosses over. You got the accompanying market internal to show you that we got some resistance. All you're trying to do is get a piece of the pie. Take a look at some of the other charts across the board. So pretty much overall, we had a, that's right, we had a pop in price action, drop, and the remainder of the day we went back upside. ES finding some nice pockets of opportunity. Break above the T350 here. You got almost 5 charts in sync. Very nice core setup where you have the chart up here and row number 2 in sync. Price action breaks back upside. There was your next setup, and then eventually another opportunity to the upside. Again, this was on a much higher time frame today. Kept you out a lot of the whipsaw. Now, if you like this time frame setting, you can keep it on any session, but remember, if the volume is very low, you're not going to get as many bars. We'll show you that volume today was quite extreme. There it is, price action on the YM. There it is, full session. Lifting up here, price action, and then the afternoon session here to the upside. Not much is price action moving on the YM, as the YM AD line was pretty flat for the most important part of the session. Hey guys, CL, we talked about the crude getting a nice little lift. There's the weekly EIA report with a lot of chop. Finally set up with the core chart, 5 above the 34. Price action T310 breaks above the cloud here. We're sitting above the T350. Find a little bit of support there. So there was your best trend of the day on the crude. And GC. Got the indices flying up. Price action to the downside. Core setup on the 2 charts here. 5 underneath 34 here. That's the blue line down here. Price action downside. Heikin-Ashi bars to keep you in trend. Finds a little bit of, that's right, a little bit of resistance and support back to the downside. And we stay underneath the 5144. Gotta love that moving average. How about that? All right, let's take a look at the charts overall. Daily gap yesterday closing out the daily gap on the YM to the upside, and bang, that's it. 2 open gaps to the upside, 18,469 as the Dow Jones Industrials pushing up to those all-time highs. ES closing out 56.25, and the NQ again still remaining with the major open gap from Monday, as we can see here in the green square, and crude just shuffling sideways here at 45. Taking a look at the AD lines overall for the day. NSS nicely up in the upper left-hand corner, hanging here at the pivot. And we spoke about the YM really not getting as much price action. Well, there it is. YM was having a hard time getting above that 12. And in between the gap here, the pivot, finally price action lifting up, but giving it back towards the end of the session. Again, NQ here, price action to the upside, found support off that negative 25 like we just showed on the chart. And from there, it was all back to the upside and finding that gap to chisel out the rest of the day. Same picture on the ES. One of the charts we've been looking at lately, the Murray Math charts. Again, same setups as we see every day on the screen share. These here, again, if you want more information, you can find that online. Murray Math intraday study or daily study for anybody who wants to use that on their charts. Again, not any decisive strategy to look at, but again, always nice to find intraday levels. And when you see resistance or overbought territories, just like you would use an RSI or a MACD, perhaps price action here on the NQ, you could see found a little bit of resistance. So not only do we see the resistance here in this area on the Murray Math divided by ACE throughout the price action, but again, you might be watching your AD lines give you similar information as well. The fact that we couldn't break out of the 25. So whether you're watching AD lines or perhaps Murray Math, All great tools to keep you in the trend or perhaps halt you from getting in any setups. All right, let's take a look at the key charts here. Again, we looked at the NQYM and ES, bottom row here. Crude again, we saw that nice lift upside with the charts mostly in sync to the upside, sitting above the cloud, only to finish out the remainder of the afternoon underneath. And that's right, GC getting a wild ride today here on the overnight session. Found a little chop mid-session and then bang, right back to the downside. And speaking of the indices, Euro here, the 6E finding some trouble here as U.S. indices found support to the upside. It was the 6E go to the higher time frame. This is on a 6.3, but a 10.7 or 15.10 flex Renko would have kept you in the trend a lot longer there on the 6E. All right, overall trend for the day. So price action we see on the daily big pick NQ volume all across the board, way above the 60-period moving average. Now daily NQ right at the 50 MA, YM and ES break above after finding support off that almost 200-period moving average. 4-hour charts, again back upside, but big trend is still downside on a 4-hour chart. So as of this point, we say be ready intraday in both directions, but as we see it right now, reluctant to say we're in any guaranteed direction, as tomorrow price action could come down and close out this gap. Let's get a couple bars going in direction. Let's get that 50 above 144, and I'd be happy to sit here and tell you we're in a confirmed uptrend. Any pullback will come back and obviously retest these levels. So big pick, there we are. Daily picture and 4-hour chart will lead the way as we try to get that 50 above 144 and try to get back to some trending times. Whether we move up or down, that is yet to see. Take a look at the CL. I still got to go with the downtrend. We're finding resistance here at the 50 MA after finding support at the 200. So a little bit of resistance here on the 4-hour, support on the daily. So I got to still go with the downtrend. We're in the gap here in the 50-200. Let's get above the 50. Let's get above the 144, and I'll give you at least a small short-term pullback that hopefully will keep in trend. Take a look at the GC, a little bit of indecision still here, 50 as we see above the 144. So got to go with the long trend as price action now pulling back, and here we are still seeing 50-200, very close, very consolidated wedge-like formation, and we'll have to see how it follows through in the days following here. Once we get a couple days of pattern, then we should be able to determine what trend we are definitely headed towards for a longer picture. Take a look at the ZN bonds, of course. ZN selling off today with the open gap up here. Got to go with the downtrend now, 50 below the 144, and price action unable to break above the 50. So my trend direction on the ZN is downside. And mid-cap 400s, S&P, same picture as the ES. And following up the 6E, we're back downside as the U.S. indices popped. Price action right there at the 50. So I got to go still with the downtrend as the 50 is just slightly below the 144. But we are down underneath the T350. And we definitely were never able to break above the 50 and the 200. So downside, and yen downside today as well at 144. Key here is to watch those open markets overnight. That's right. Overnight's going to be the telltale. Economics, we got jobless claims up tomorrow, and banks closed on Friday, so volume might be low. We might have to wait a week. We got really the rate hike coming up, guys, is the election now behind us. At least we could put that to bed, and then get back to finding the highest probability entries or setups on any given day. All right, that concludes an insight into the daily trend and technical momentum of the indices and key futures markets that I watch. Feel free to stop by at tradingfibs.com or any of my social media outlets to obtain more information. My trading mantra, one simple strategy, any market, any chart, any time frame will keep you disciplined. Hey guys, you can find me every day on Twitter here at Trading Fibs, or you can find me here on StockTwits every day as I post intraday charts and intraday setups. Feel free to stop by and check those out. I always leave the crystal ball to the experts. I really only do watch what is in front of me and on my charts. And as always, leave your bias at the door when trading. Hey guys, whether you believe the market should have been up or down, it didn't matter. You could have looked at both sides of the coin as price action Moved downside last night on the higher time frames and then rebounded. You had your opportunity to be in both directions. Longer time frame, that's a whole nother story. You got to go to the higher time frame, and higher time frames worked well last night on intraday, but longer time frames just got to be at the moment of highest probability and leave your bias whether you think you should be up or down. Hey guys, for those of you that are interested in joining our community of like-minded traders seeking highest probability setups on any given day, hey, feel free to email me, david@tradingfibs.com. That's FIBZ.com. You may join us on any Thursday or Friday. Hey, come in both days. You never know what will happen on any given day. You might just have a quiet Thursday, and Friday's a lot more action. And you can view the live chart setups as they happen in our trading day. Hey guys, what a week, what a night. We still got a couple more days this week. Have yourselves a Blue Zone day wherever you may be. Good day, good night, and good trading to you.